Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to see you all here. We are starting up our online unicorn pitches. And what a fantastic event is awaiting for us today. Only the best startups within a reach, pitching live great investors. You are at Unicorn.Events, the world's largest startup pitch contest. Welcome, everyone. And our thanks goes to our organizers, Network Silicon Valley Club and Startup Network. And I'm so happy to let you know that Unicorn.Events and Network Silicon Valley Club have created a collaboration some time ago, and I welcome you at Network Silicon Valley Club, our syndicate for accredited investors where the best deals are made. And now, not to waste any time, it's my pleasure to introduce you to a special person. Please meet the founder of Network Silicon Valley Club, intelligent and charismatic, Maxim Strelchenko.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to say a big thank you to all the fantastic companies, judges, and our wonderful guests. And I'm so grateful to everyone who generously donated to our event. Your support means the world to us. Our teams put a lot of effort to make these events happen, from bringing the top judges to finding the most exciting companies to take part. So if we receive more donations, we can make our events even more prominent, including more areas and startups. So thanks again, and good luck to all the companies with their pitches.
Thank you, Maxim, so much. And please, mind a little overflow, that besides many other things that we are doing at Network Silicon Valley Club, we are having online Unicorn Pitches US on a regular basis, which means we will be seeing each other more often. You'll be seeing best traditional industries that our venture fund focuses on, that is SaaS, FinTech, AI, DefenseTech, and cybersecurity. But besides that, this fall, everything you have been asking for, blockchain, biotech, health tech, space tech, and women in VC to crown it all. So I will be really waiting for you to join us for the events. And the next event is right around the corner on October 8th. And as Maxim was saying, we are very, very grateful for your donations to support tech community. So please use this QR code or the link that my team has placed in chat to help us with the donations to support our events and make our world a much, much better place to live on. Network Silicon Valley Club, besides online pitches, does regular in-person events in the heart of Silicon Valley in Palo Alto. Please use our special QR code as a thank you for coming to our event. You can get a 10% discount from our club, and please come, please meet us in person, meet our investors. It will be really, really good to see you all. And now we are here today at Unicorn Pitches US and Unicorn.Events, as well as Network Silicon Valley Club, are the part of the ecosystem that nourishes and fosters innovation and growth for startups, as well as for the VCs and private investors. We have lots of ideas to share and energy to put it into work. Let's explore synergies and talk more if you are looking for new business opportunities. Come meet us, talk to us, write to us. We are very open and very excited to talk to you. And now it's time to say thank you to our esteemed sponsors, our platinum sponsor, Network VC, the heart and the management company of our global ecosystem and main center of our venture activities. Our golden sponsor, Network Silicon Valley Club, where great deals for accredited investors are made. And silver sponsor, Startup Inc., an investor onboarding and management platform to get an access to the exclusive deals worldwide. We are at Network Silicon Valley Club, use Startup Inc. to facilitate our investors' digital journey. Thank you so much for supporting us and making this world turn. And now our guests can also participate, not like in evaluating startups' investment potential as judges, but for voting for our startups by thumbs up. Please go to our event page and put thumbs up to the startups you like the most, and we will see who is more true about the future unicorn, our guests or our judges. It will be really interesting. And now it's time to introduce our judges. We have wonderful fans that are joining us today looking up for the great startups. So startups, please mind who is in the audience and pitch like crazy. Dear judges, please raise your hand and I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself. Yes, I can see that you know the way it works. And let's start with the John. John was the first. Please introduce yourself briefly for 1 minute, mentioning the industry you invest in, your sweet spot, your geography. You know how it works. Yes, mic is yours.
Hi, my name is John Rainey. I'm with a digital agency called Miller Media 7. We typically invest, when we do invest, it's usually in the form of sweat equity, helping SaaS-based teams develop and design their software. We bill ourselves as a zero-risk custom software development team. Our staff is all senior level. We're staffed with software engineers, AI engineers, UI, UX designers, digital strategists, and marketers that have been working with startups for over 15 years. We do this while working lean to meet your budget.
Thank you, John, and welcome. Mariette, hello, nice to see you.
Hi, it's great to see you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to meet all the people pitching today. I've invested in about 100 companies over the last 12 years in DefenseTech, blockchain, biotech, neuroscience, SaaS, robotics, FinTech, longevity recently, AI and optical computing. And I advise a lot of startups. And I've also been running a nonprofit for the last 6 years, doing female venture building in Africa and in 2025 in Ukraine. So contact me if you're interested in helping with that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mariette. Thank you, Mariette, so much. Yes, please contact details in chat. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Anna. How are you? Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Lo, founder and investor in Toronto, Canada. I'm excited to be here. Over the past 18 years, I've worked with entrepreneurs and investors from over 50 countries, focusing on B2B tech companies in healthcare, digital economy, and smart living. We typically invest up to $1 million. I look forward to an exciting event and wish all participants the best of luck.
We do too. Welcome, Kelly. And Jonathan, hello.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Wright. I'm a serial entrepreneur who's been a founder, CEO, general counsel, and venture capitalist. Currently, I'm a lawyer who represents growth and venture-backed companies at Free Vector. We often serve as fractional general counsels in formations, financings, and mergers and acquisitions. We use alternative fee structures that usually contain equity. I've made investments mainly in healthcare companies, including biotech, health services companies, and medical devices. Happy to be here, and good luck to all the future unicorns.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Keisha?
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. So I am here representing BDev Ventures. We invest in B2B software startups, anywhere from late seed all the way through Series B. We're a minority investor. We don't take board seats. And in addition to capital, we provide all of our companies with access to a lead gen machine. So we're actually making up somewhere between 7 and 60% of all of their new business. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And Olga, hi.
Hi, I'm an angel investor. I'm a member of several angel investment groups, and I invest as directly as well as part of multiple syndicates. So I'm mostly interested in banking and military startups as of today. As of myself, I have a vast experience in the banking IT. I have like more than 20 years of experience in that. Also, I work with startups as the advisor and the coach. in terms of the business and strategies and strategical thinking. So happy to be here and waiting for the pitches.
Great to have you, Olga. Welcome. Sarah, hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Prata, CEO of Prata Ventures, Asia's top online startup accelerator. We are in business since 2014, and we specialize in tech innovation, AI, and sustainability, helping startups to grow and succeed globally. We mostly deal within seed investments and Series A investment startups. So that's what we do.
Great to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Chandan, hello.
I am Chandan Sardeshmukh, based in Bangalore, India. In my past, I have built enterprise software products and now an early stage investor and startup advisor as well. At PyCube, we mostly invest in software at the seed to pre-series A stages up to maybe 500K. So looking forward to the startups today, saw some good ideas looking to the next.
Thank you, Chandan. Yes, they are very, very excited to pitch. I have heard them yesterday and they're really good. So before we move to our most important part, the pitch session, dear judges, I remind you that you have to vote for the startup investment potential so we can select the winner at the end of the event. Please make sure you voted for all the startups. You have got the voting link in your calendar and also in mail, in your private mail. And log in using this link. You will see a picture upper right corner. Beneath each startup, there is a scroll bar from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest investment potential and 10 being the highest. So please move the scroll bar wherever you want. There is no confirmation button. You just move it and leave it. Where you think it's fair, you can choose your vote anytime during the event. Before the votes are closed, it will be announced separately, and the votes will be closed, and then we'll have a little session with you to talk. You will be given feedbacks to the startups. So please make notes while they pitch so you can give advice to the startups because they depend on you. You're the experts and they sometimes need a little like push up in the right direction. And then after this little chit chat, we will have the winner announced. Okay, so it was all from us organizers. I'm so happy to see everyone here today, and most of all, wonderful startups who are already the winners because we have received lots and lots of applications. Pick the best ones. So please welcome our 7 finalists, and I'm introducing my wonderful colleague Anna, who will be leading the pitch session. Anna is our partner relations manager, and she will be leading us through this pitch session. Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to see all of you today. Dear founders, you will have 5 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes for Q&A with the judges. Please keep your answer short so as many judges as possible can talk to you. And now I'd like to give the floor to our first company, Gage. Justin, your 5 minutes are starting now. Please make the full screen of your presentation.
Thank you. Everybody can hear me okay and have full screen? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, let's make work count. The shift in hourly workforce. Did you know that 60% of our workforce are shift and hourly workers? And this is nearly 80 million Americans engaged in these vital roles. And make no mistake, these are the most underserved, unsung heroes of our economy and our way of life. And they are struggling at a historic level, getting worse every single year. Employees are lost, yearning to find meaning and direction in their work. Employers are desperate to engage, recruit, and retain good employees. The problem with the shift in hourly workforce, everybody, is that every job is seemingly meaningless. It's just a paycheck. Nothing seems to go anywhere. It's all disposable, which is why employees lose interest and become lost without purpose or direction. So we built Gage. Gage is the first universal employment scoring and recognition community for the shift in hourly workforce. Unlike all other employee management platforms out there, our system is transferable between jobs. This means that the data is owned by the employee. This makes our platform more valuable to the employee, which in turn enhances its effectiveness as a management tool to the employer. At the heart of our system is something truly groundbreaking, the Gauge score. It's the first metric for the workforce. It's a private and personal, lifelong career builder designed to travel with you from job to job. Now, the competition, Gauge is a disruptor, so we really have no direct competition. Sure, there are many employee management platforms out there, but they all have the same problem. They're not for the employee, meaning that the data is not transferred between jobs. The closest comparison might be LinkedIn, as it's a way to try to verify somebody's work experience, right? But as we all know, it doesn't cater to the shift in hourly workforce or the younger generation. They need Gauge. Our business model is a hybrid, where we sell direct to businesses with subscription, but the employees get it for free. Leveraging that hybrid model, our go-to-market strategy is a two-pronged approach. We are going after medium to large size enterprises with a land and expand strategy. We already have pilots planned with national brands, so a few national brands in various industries. But additionally, Gauge's community-driven model will drive organic growth with the employees creating peer-to-peer connections and expanding our reach. Our market is huge. 80 million Americans engaged in shift and hourly work. That's our total addressable market. Our price at beta was $2 an employee a month on average. We are increasing that with the second generation of our product to $7 an employee a month on average. During the beta phase, we were able to accumulate $65,000 in sales. We will double that in next year with the second gen of our product, launching early next year to 111,000, and then expanding with significant growth thereafter. We're in the middle of a seed round. We are raising 800,000 to complete our build of the second gen. We have half of that raised, so we have 400,000 left in this round. Our lead investor is a VC group out of Texas called Eagle Venture Fund. We're proud to have them. And the biggest exciting news is that we were just accepted into a Techstars Accelerator program out of New York. That's actually where I am right now. We had to move some stuff around. I'm actually in a booth in Techstars in New York. Very excited to have them. We demo our product in December with their network of investors. Leading the team, the starting lineup is the Gauge team here. Me as founder, CEO, I'm a former Marine, combat veteran, multiple business owner and restaurateur, which is where I built Gauge. But our tech experience comes in with Jeff Cole, our chief of product, and Turner, our head of design. Over 25 years of experience between the two of them. What is our vision? To be a definitive metric for personal and professional contribution, akin to the FICO score for financial health. To ensure that every individual's hard work is acknowledged, celebrated, and rewarded, ensuring no one is left behind. To become an essential tool in every workplace, recognized globally for our impact in the shift in hourly workforce. Thank you so much. And at that point, I'll take your questions.
Thank you for this exciting presentation. Let's see what questions our judges have. Mariette, please ask your question.
Thank you so much. A beautiful presentation and interesting idea. I like it. So can you explain a little bit more the pricing model? So a person is paying, our company is paying $2 a month per worker, but if these are shift or hourly worker, what happens? It's just they're paying as every time they hire a new person?
So we're doing tiers. So like 0 to 25 employees is free. 25 to 50 has a price point, 50 to 75 on average. So right now at beta, we were monitoring, basically how many employees, what type of package they wanted to have. Our average business has about 100 employees, which kind of identified our ICP. Our ICP right now is multiple unit operators in the hospitality space, between 50 to 150 employees. So they pay based on how many employees they have on average.
Right. And what has been the response to that pricing model?
well, we're cheap right now, $2 an employee a month. On average, they're paying about $100 a month. Basically, it's coming in at about $1 to $2 an employee. I mean, nobody's balked at it, which is why we're raising the price. We're also the second generation of our product is going to have messaging tools, some other just essential business tools to utilize within the business to help, replace other products that they might be paying for, and that's going to raise our price.
Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. I could see employees wanting to pay for it as well, just because it gives
Yeah.
them a good reputation. It could give them an opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. The later there's all our pipeline. There's so different revenue sources in our pipeline and in our workshops, but right now we're going subscription. There's obviously recruiting pipeline. We're considering a bunch of other resources. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's your turn to ask a question. Kelly?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Anna. So, Justin, nice presentation. My question is, what metrics do you use in your scoring system, and how do you measure its impact on work performance? Thank you.
That is a great question. I would love to sidebar on that. We don't have a lot of time. We wanted to create something that was fair, right? Something that was objective as possible. I mean, employment is a human interaction, so there has to be a human element to it. But for the most part, there are some objective measurements that we can measure as well. Things like job tenure. We can measure how long somebody stays at a job, or how long do they average spend on a job. So someone that, jumps around from job to job every other week is going to have a much lower score than somebody stays for a year or 2 years, right? And that's valuable to the employer and to the employee for professional growth. We can monitor peer-to-peer connections, peer-to-peer endorsements, education, training. All of these things are components, vital components to employment, and we can make them part of that. Well, they are part of the system. We also do evaluate. So the managerial tools that we give employers to manage their teams within the businesses is part of the score as well. So there are evaluations and touch points. You'll notice high fives all over our website, and that's one of the most popular features in the product right now. Everybody loves an attaboy. Everybody loves thank you for closing with me last night. Thank you for helping me with that customer. Good job, high five. Those are components of the score as well.
Great.
Thank you. We have 1 minute left. Chandan, please ask your question.
Yeah, hi. So the attendance and payroll vendors are very entrenched in this market, and they also have the benefit of wage and benefits data, or even the hiring recs that are on, right? So somewhere in the future, they could very easily extend to building something similar. So what's your thought on competing or collaborating with them in the long run?
Well, we have a patent, a business method patent pending on the score itself, which makes us truly unique. At the end of the day, I believe Gauge is not only a game changer and a disruptor, I also believe it's inevitable. We're first, but I don't believe we'll be last. I mean, it's one of those ideas which is, it's gotten Techstars' attention, it's gotten everybody's attention. Believe me when I say Gauge will be, whether it's us or somebody else. I mean, we're first, and we have some great momentum. But you're right. I mean, I believe that if you're really good at anything, people will follow you, right? So we do have some patent pendings on the score and how it's calculated. I think that in itself would make people just want to buy us instead of compete with us. But it's this thing that keeps me up at night.
Thank you very much. We have only 10 questions left. If anyone has questions, Mariette, you can ask.
Yeah. Is there somebody on your team who comes from the employment space who's helping you work on those questions that are in the metric?
Yeah, me. So I have owned and operated 14
Answer the
restaurants.
question. You can use our chat because time is over, and you can send all the information and everyone will see your answer. And now it's time to see our next innovative company, EveryKey. Chris, you will also have 5 minutes for pitching. Let's start. Please show us your presentation.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Great to meet everybody here. Thank you for having me. My name is Chris Wentz. I am the CEO and founder here at EveryKey. And we are on a mission to make security easy and convenient for businesses and employees around the world. But before I talk more about what we do, let me talk about where we've been, because we've had some remarkable traction. We've generated over $3 million in revenue on a 91% gross margin. And our users love us. They use our product over 5 million times per day. And we have over 3,400 business customers, including LG Electronics and even the US Air Force and many others. And to understand why these customers love our product and our company so much, let's rewind to June of 2024, just 2.5 months ago. Ticketmaster, the multi-billion-dollar company, is breached. Hackers gain access to hundreds of millions of names, addresses, phone numbers, and even credit card details of Ticketmaster customers. How on earth did Ticketmaster allow this to happen? Well, unfortunately, a few key employees of Ticketmaster that had access to this information were using bad passwords, and they weren't using multi-factor authentication. But this isn't just a Ticketmaster problem. These kind of data breaches happen all the time. We hear about them constantly in their front page news every time they happen. But what's the bottom line here? How much is being lost? Is this a $1 billion problem? No, it's actually not. It's actually a $1 trillion problem. There's over $10 trillion lost per year due to password and access-related, authentication-related issues. And that's over $1 billion, not every year, but every hour being lost to this problem. It's one of the biggest problems in the world. And let's get rid of this broken and outdated access control and ancient technology like passwords and keys and replace it with something better. Introducing the revolution of authentication. Introducing EveryKey. With EveryKey, your phone becomes your ultimate smart key for everything in your business life. When your phone is close to any of your devices, you unlock all your devices and online accounts seamlessly and easily with proximity authentication. So when EveryKey is close by, you can unlock your social media, email accounts, bank accounts, CRM systems, accounting software, you name it. Anything that would require a username and password to log in, EveryKey logs you in for you. It also logs you into all of your different devices as well, like your phone, your tablet, your computer, the door to your office, any type of access control point within your enterprise, car doors, etc. It all unlocks when you're around, and then everything locks back down and logs back out when you walk away. And you can add a second factor of authentication, like a fingerprint or a face scan, to this as well. Now that you know about us, let's take a look at the competition. There are device security solutions able to unlock and lock your devices. There are password managers able to manage your passwords for website accounts. And then there's multi-factor authenticators that add a second factor of authentication to that transaction. EveryKey is all three of these products in one. So you ultimately save money and get a better user experience. And we're built on better technology. EveryKey is faster, more secure, more reliable, more battery friendly, and best of all, most importantly, one-to-many. We have an issued US utility patent on this groundbreaking technology that allows us to be the only smart key that can unlock multiple things simultaneously. There's a big exit opportunity here. This is a frothy space. There's so many different acquisitions and IPOs happening in this space. Potential acquirers include public companies, industry companies, and customers. We actually received a $10 million acquisition offer a few years ago, decided to decline it because we felt we could grow this company even bigger than what was being offered. And there's so many exits in this space that you'll notice we didn't even have space on this slide to fit them all. All right. Let's take a look at our world-class team, because we've built a great team here to make this dream a reality. Our executive management team includes entrepreneurs and engineers with multiple prior exits under our belts, and we've invested over $300,000 into this company ourselves. We have investors and advisors that are industry legends. They've founded and managed companies in the billions of dollars, like Greg Kidd, the founder of Ripple, Arjun Mittal, the former CEO of JSS Bank, the largest investment bank in Dubai, valued at over $29 billion, and many others that have had huge successful exits that you can see on this slide. We are raising $2 million on a convertible note with a 9.9 million valuation cap and a 20% discount. This round is led by Abbey Road Investment Group. Arjun Mittal from the previous slide is actually the founder of Abbey Road Investment Group, and he's invested, not committed, but invested $1.1 million already into us because he believes EveryKey is going to be a big hit in the banking space. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to the revolution of access control. Welcome to EveryKey.
Chris, thank you. Your pitch was really engaging. I see a question from Mariette. Let's start our Q&A session.
Thanks, Chris. A very exciting presentation. One question I have is, it seems like this would have been a really good tool to have a few years ago, but now everything is moving toward multi-step, multi-factor authentication already. Do you talk to me, convince me you're not too late to this?
Yeah, so there's three ways that you can authenticate yourself, and you need two of them for multi-factor. There is something you know, like a PIN or a password. There's something you are, like a biometric, a fingerprint, face scan, etc. And then there's something you have. We're not trying to compete against biometrics and passwords. We are striving to be the best something you have out there. So proximity authentication, because it's passive, because you just have your phone in your pocket and it's able to authenticate your things around you. You don't have to do anything for that multi-factor authentication. So every key plus a biometric or every key plus a password becomes the easiest, most secure multi-factor authentication you can have. We just released Every Key Echo. It's our kind of full-fledged multi-factor authentication product, and businesses are loving it. We're already seeing huge adoption into our new product here, and actually partnering with Okta to get that out there. One of the biggest leaders in multi-factor authentication and single sign-on.
Sarah, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I have a question. It is related to the customer support kind of thing, but I just wanted to know if somebody gets stuck with, with the security system, then how you will be dealing that issue.
Sorry, Sarah, it was a little bit hard to hear you, but let me make sure I understand the question correctly. What happens if somebody gets stuck, like has an issue with the system? Is that right? Or maybe
Yes,
loses their
yes.
phone? Okay,
Yeah,
great
if
question.
somebody's stuck in the car or stuck in the home, what first thing they will be doing and how you will be taking care of that scenario?
Yeah, great question. So you can always use a backup master password. You can set that up so you can use a master password as kind of an override if you don't have your phone on you. You can also freeze a lost or stolen every key. So let's say that you lost your phone or got stolen or something. You can just go into your app on your computer or call our customer support or log into our dashboard. Got plenty of ways for you to do it. And you can kind of like lock everything down so you make sure that nobody else is going to be able to access your stuff. And then, of course, just use your master password. And once you get a new phone, you just set up that new phone. It takes like 10 seconds to get it set up, just like the old one was.
Thank you. Maxim, please ask a question.
Thank you, Chris. Nice presentation. So inspiring. So I have a question. Do you have B2B clients? And if so, who are they?
Yeah, we do. So we have over 3,400 business customers. LG Electronics, US Air Force are a couple of them. Those are paying clients that have already paid us and are looking for like more massive rollouts of our technology. And there's many others. I mean, we're talking to a whole host of different customers that every company manages passwords and has authentication issues, right? There's a reason this is a $10 trillion per year problem. So we're looking to scale up in the B2B and specifically enterprise space here.
Any specific departments, how do they use your product? For example, LG.
Yes. So typically we get in through like the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, is kind of our point of entry into these companies, right? The Chief Information Security Officer is managing all of the authentication for the organization. And then they roll this out to their employees. The employees then end up using it for password management, for device unlock, and for multi-factor authentication within their company, and also for password sharing as well. So we have a nice secure way for you to, once you've generated a secure password or a pass key, you can share that with other people that need to have access to that online account within your organization as well.
Thank you.
Olga, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the pitch. A very nice one. Can you please talk about your competitors? Who are they and how you're different from them?
Sure. Okay, so there's 3 different categories of competitors. I'll go through each one. Device security, there's Touch ID, Face ID, YubiKey, YubiKey is also a multi-factor authenticator, but they also come into this category. So these are able to unlock and lock your devices. Most of the time they just unlock. We can actually lock the device back down as well, which is really important for a corporate situation where an employee leaves to go to the bathroom or leaves work for the day. You want to make sure that that device is locked back down once they walk away, right? We're also a password manager, so we're able to manage the passwords for all your different online accounts, and you don't need to enter a master password. You don't need to deal with any of the kind of friction that's typically involved with a password manager. We're also a multi-factor authenticator, so we're competing against companies like YubiKey, Authy, Duo, and others. YubiKey is probably the biggest competitor, right? So YubiKey, if you're not familiar with it, small device that you plug into your computer in order to authenticate to your computer. Problem with YubiKey, of course, if you forget to unplug the device from the computer, you're kind of out of luck. Looks like we're out of time here, but every key is kind of all three of these products in one.
Unfortunately,
And,
time for the Q&A is over. Everyone who has questions, please use our chat and you can ask anything and our founder will answer. And next startup we have is Memoria Call. Dear Homayun, let's start. Show us your presentation. We can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I guess I have to share my screen one more time. Okay, everybody seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Memoria Call. What do we do at Memoria Call? What I like to do is first start with a short video. They say a picture goes 1,000 words. So with that said, please listen to this 50-second video.
Imagine a world where the mountain of data from online meetings becomes instantly useful, not buried and forgotten. In today's fast-paced business landscape, professionals are overwhelmed with information. Redefining team collaboration to unlock collective intelligence. With Memoria Call. Memoria Call empowers people to do more in less time by capturing, distilling, and making actionable the critical intelligence from every interaction. What makes us unique is our ability to combine powerful AI with an elegant, simple user experience. We're not just another productivity tool. We're transforming how teams collaborate and leverage their collective intelligence. Memoria Call is the right solution at the right time. As the pace of business accelerates, our ability to process and act on information becomes a critical competitive advantage. We're empowering professionals to work smarter, not harder.
Thank you very much for your attention there. Now, with that out of the way, we are in a global market and a massive market of it. Artificial intelligence market is projected to be $1.8 trillion. And the productivity market is scheduled to be $150 billion market. Our go-to-market plan is very simple. Land and expand, ambassadors, influencers. And our initial target users are selective B2B verticals. Now, we have addressed 4 markets as of now. So these are commercial construction, online education, recruitment, and ERP. In addition to these, we are in talks with health service providers, financial institutions, as well as developers. We started the company back in 2020 when nobody would wanted to capture the details of their meetings. We filed a patent then. Our patent got issued in 2022. We have launched our product in March of this year and have 2,700 users and some 400 active weekly users. We are asking for a $5 million investment. We will have a full-scale commercial launch, 10,000 paid users, and 500,000 annual recurring revenue. Our team is highly experienced. I personally have over 100 patents issued in my name, have had 7 startups within big companies and on my own. We have team of Mary Shea, Santiago being 20 years doing AI. Jim was the founder of Delco for GM. And we have video experts. We have Mark Manuel out of Blue Jeans. With this said, I'd like to thank you for your time and be ready for answering any questions.
Thank you, Humayun. Let's see the questions. Mariette, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I actually co-founded the company that started the whole cloud video conferencing network, so I know quite a lot about the video space. And it's exciting to see this. I think there's a lot of need for understanding what's happening during the calls, and I assume you're using computer vision as well. I'd like to learn more about the features, but in this, because I don't have much time, I'd really like to understand what is your marketing strategy? I didn't see anybody in your team working on marketing.
Right. So our marketing strategy, again, we have basically bootstrapped the product today, and marketing strategy so far has been through the networking and the friends of the company. That is why we are raising this $5 million. And the features, again, is focused on capturing voice, images, files, and text, timestamp it, and make it available to instantly produce reports or answer questions like, propose an agenda for the next time I meet with this team, all available instantly to our users.
Thank you, Mariette. Kesha, please ask your question.
Hey, thank you so much for the presentation. Can you walk me through a little bit of the pricing structure and the strategy there?
Right. So the pricing strategy is right now for enterprise is $100 per seat per user per month. And of course, people are coming to us saying this is extremely cheap, because in construction industry, for example, they use products such as OpenSpace that we outbid in seconds, and those products are being used at 3,000 per day. So a lot of work to be done in that space, and that's why we are looking for support.
So just so I understood, I thought on the pitch deck that I saw that one of your milestones was to get to 10,000 users, and that would hit about $500,000 ARR. Did I understand that wrong?
No, that is correct. So 10,000 users at $100 per user per month. Correct? So that's almost $100,000 per month revenue.
Kesha, thank you for your question. If anyone else wants to ask something, please raise your hand. Maxime, now it's your turn.
Could you tell more about your traction existing customers? Do you have paying customers?
We do. We have a handful of paying customers, but we are in evaluation at many B2B enterprise customers of thousands of employees and more. Keshia, I understand your question now, and my apologies. So hopefully we have time offline to go deeper into our financial models.
Thank you very much. If there are no more questions, you can ask them in the chat if you have them later. And let's see then the next startup we have. Now we are moving on to another company. Please welcome BoxTech and its founder, Lamar.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lamar Houston, former NFL vet and co-founder and president of BoxTech. We are a data collecting AI vending platform for regulated goods. There's a twofold problem in venues and events. A, it's hard to find labor and it's very expensive. B, there's a high turnover rate in those part-time jobs, which creates a poor customer experience while people are at the games. I myself have been in football for many years. Recently took my son to the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. We had a great time. The game was amazing, but I missed the entire third quarter just waiting on getting a drink. The other part of the problem is brands. They're fighting for recognition in a crowded market. Brand sponsorship in stadiums and venues are $1 billion business, so now brands need a way to get recognized and also more data on their consumers. Our patent pending box is a completely customizable experience. We have created what we call live validation. That is by cross-verifying an authenticated ID with the person standing in front of the machine in real time by reading over 300, 400 biometric markers in their face using our AI and our tech stacks. This allows us to have a transaction that's completed in less than 30 seconds, which is now increasing the throughput for food and beverage operators and venues, and also the experience for the customers who are there visiting to see whatever event they're at. This creates real-time analytics. For example, we had a pilot with Dave & Buster's where we sold out of Jack and Coke in Arizona, and it sold so well, completely out of the stores, that we got licensed in Texas and sold out in Arlington. It was a great experience. Our go-to-market's simple. We are in stadiums, airports, hotels, places where we can land and expand. Each one of our customers are big box enterprise customers, so they have hundreds of branches for us to expand into underneath. So for example, we're working with Delaware North and Cleveland at the Guardian Stadium. We are working with the Holiday Inn, which is a HHM group hotel, the Monarch group, sorry. And we also have family entertainment groups such as High Five in Austin. Our business model is simple. We get a lease fee off of our permanent installments, which are done in by 3 years minimum, and we get $1,500 per month, and we also do rev share on each transaction, about 15%. We also have temporary installments, so think Coachella, Lollapalooza, anything that's a big festival, Ribfest in Reno, which will be next year. So those are the places where we do temporary installments and we like to be. How is this scale? This is awesome. This is real world data pilot information where we've made over $25,000 in revenue on each machine, making about 90% margins, which is a payback in 7 months on each machine. Our plan is to grow rapidly in the next 3 to 5 years by trying to have 50 machines out by the end of the year, which will have us around the $250,000, $500,000 year ARR. Building this business up to 1,000 machines will have us at $25 million ARR annually. Our customer pipeline is exciting. We've done the Super Bowl in 23, debuting there in Arizona. We also did it again last year in Vegas and have been invited back for the next one in New Orleans, which we're very excited about. We'll also be coming out in the Allegiant Stadium with the Raiders by the end of the month. We just signed High Noon as a customer. We opened conversations with the Remington Hotel Group. We have a live box in Cleveland with our first baseball team, and we dropped our first hotel in August last month. Future products, the way we're going to monetize besides our core business model, is the advertising space in real estate we've created with the 3 screens experience on the sides. Also the customer analytics that we have captured by all of our transactions being done. The best thing is we can package our age verification moving forward and put it into self-checkout kiosk at grocery stores and also CVS's, and then also look at doing other regulated goods such as tobacco. Here's our team led by Lauren Smee, our CEO, who has 10 plus years experience of launching food and tech beverage companies. Myself, University of Texas Remiscombe Business School board member, and Mike Georgioff, former Redbox executive with 10 years experience launching tech startups. We're raising $2 million. We've raised 1.5 of that $2 million. And this money goes towards working capital to put out kiosks for our customers, also package and use some of it for our future products, such as SaaS products and outdoor units. Thank you. Also have a little customer feedback if I can get to it really quick. Oh.
So I hate waiting for the bar. This machine is fantastic. Put them everywhere. I don't want to wait at the bar all night. That's easier than getting a bar, tender's attention. We need a lot more of these. Greatest thing ever, man. Greatest. My question for you is, what made you want to?
Lamar, thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I see that Mariette already has a question. Let's start our Q&A.
Oh, thanks, Amar. What a creative solution. And it looks like your unit economics are really interesting. I have two questions. One is there any competition? And what is your cost of getting those deals and acquiring a customer?
Sorry, I can actually finish sharing that. Yes, our competition landscape looks like this. It's very interesting. Moet is a machine that has no live age validation. You go to a person, you get a golden coin, you go back. There's a lot of, anybody can get that coin once it leaves the hand of the first person from the counter. They don't have any data collection. It's over 30 grand. We hope to make them a customer one day, but they've proven the model by being in a lot of luxury hotels for the last 10 plus years. So they're in the Austonia here in Austin, the Four Seasons. They're in the Hyatt Regency in San Francisco. They are in the, there's a hotel in New York. They're in a hotel in Vegas. So they've proven that they can be in luxury hotels, and they only sell Moet. Now, Tinted Bar is a large dispensing alcohol machine. They make cocktails. They have a little data collection. They're not really portable. It costs, you know, a vast amount of money to build these machines, and there's no consumption control. As well as Vicky is like a smart fridge. They have little consumption control, also shrinkage control. Once that door is open, anybody can reach your hand in and grab products. You also have to pre-auth to shop. So that means you have to get your credit card information or sign on to the app to validate to shop. And those are the customers, whereas our differentiators, we're mobile, you can verify, we do a lot of data collection, and we have consumption control built into our system. Also, it costs us $2,000 to build these boxes. And we build them here in the States, if that answers the other questions.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariette. Kelly, what is your question?
Thank you, Anna. Hi, Lama. It's a great presentation. So was the model trained with a diverse data set, including multiple race and groups? So how accurate does your vending machine recognize individuals over 21?
It's 99% accurate. We validate the ID first and authenticate it by scrubbing it against 3 government databases, validating and authenticating that ID. And then we do a cross verification of that person in front of the machine with a confidence score to validate the age of the person at the same time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Kelly, thank you. John, the floor is yours.
So you're selling to third parties and then you're servicing those machines. So in other words, the vendor in the stadiums are your customer, or the actual stadium authorities, or how does that look?
So we have a few different customers. We work with distributors and food and beverage operators because we do not actually touch product. So we deliver a box, say we deliver a box to the Guardians. Now Delaware North is responsible for filling that box, and the Constellation Group is working us to pay for that box to be in the stadium. So we do not touch any of the product, but we also help maintain the back-end software experience as far as them, you know, tracking their transactions and things like that.
So you're open for entrepreneurs to also buy these boxes as well?
No, that we are B2B level.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, yeah, somebody
we only sell B2B enterprise level companies, people who have liquor licenses. So.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Sarah, please ask a question.
Yeah, hi, Lamar. I wanted to ask, and I wanted to understand your revenue model, like how you generate your revenue, like what is the percentage by sector? And there is also a second thing, I don't know, would you like to answer it or not, but you talked about the ad placement over your machine. So how you monetize it? Because you mentioned, you know, quite a highlight and that slide that you monetize that stuff. So how you monetize it? Is there any camera installed, or what is the value of monetization when you are running some ads over your machine?
So, okay. The ads are right here. You monetize those here. We sold $10,000 worth of ad space in 5 days during Super Bowl. So we sell them in 15, 30-second clips, and they were paying, I think, $2,500 to $1,500 per clip. So that's how we were selling the ad space. And that was just a 5-day thing we threw together. Your first question, I didn't quite understand. What was your first question?
I just wanted to know about your revenue
Oh, the
model, like how
the
you generate.
monetization. We get monthly revenue off of the lease.
Kumar, thank you very much for your answers. Unfortunately, the time for Q&A is over. Please answer in our chat and everyone will be able to read them.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
And now Anna would like to make a very important short announcement.
I was looking for my unmute button. Dear judges, hello. I see a lot of judges have joined us during the pitches already. I can see my old friends. Hello, Jim. Hello, John. And so glad to see you. But please vote. Please evaluate startup investment potential. Go to our event page. Use your personal link that's in your calendar or in your mail. You just push it and you are redirected to our event page under your profile, and move this little scroll bar which reflects startup investment potential, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, and make sure you voted for all the startups so our algorithm can work correctly. We have a couple more very nice guys to pitch and girls, so please be attentive and please vote for all the startups. Anna, back to you.
Thank you, Anna. And next in line, we have Hometown Workforce and its founder, Jason. The countdown begins now. You'll have 5 minutes. Please, let's start.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So has any of you ever struggled to find and hire someone to come work on your home? Either you can't get them on the phone, you can't get them to show up, they charge too much, the list goes on and on. Well, imagine an AI assistant that can automate the frustrating process of finding and hiring service providers. You speak to it like you would another human being. You specify what you need done, and when you need it, the AI will find someone locally qualified, determine this correct service, a price for the service, and it'll match your schedule with their schedule, and it'll automatically order the service. So it works by accessing data no one else on earth has, and that's listings on our home services marketplace. These listings determine every service provider, where they're offering these services, all the services they offer, estimated prices, estimated completion times, and every hour they're available. Without all of this information, AI could not hire a service provider on your behalf. So it starts by people creating a series of service listings that appear on our marketplace. These listings break each service down into 3 variations, and each variation estimates the price and the completion time. And then the AI orders these services in 3 steps. So first, based on your query, it's going to determine the correct listing and then the correct variation of that service. Then it's going to compare your start time with the contractor's availability, and then it's going to deposit 1% down. And this 1% contractually obligates this person to show up. The way it schedules these services is probably the magic behind the entire platform. So people choose all the hours they're not available to work. So if you need to pick your kids up, you would mark those hours off, work as much or as little as you like, and then our AI can schedule the service during the hours you leave open. This is why we created this business, to help people become business owners. It runs their entire business. It provides them with jobs, it schedules the jobs, it manages payments, so it neatly organizes these jobs one after the other, so the contractor knows where to go, what to do, when to be there. So our target market is anybody with a home, apartment, a condo. We work with a lot of real estate agents and property managers. And as for service providers, we're looking for anyone who has the skills to do this work and they want to be self-employed, especially people who don't know how to run a business. That's what our platform does. It automates the process of turning skills into businesses. So as far as traction goes, between February and June of this year, we created 8 businesses in 4 cities. And then we sort of backed up. We became overwhelmed and we're trying to get our systems and policies straightened out so we can start expanding again. Of course, with funding, we could create many more businesses. We've got that process dialed in. Each business brings in about $2,000 a week, and our business model is it's free to sign up. And then we take 20% of all work completed through the platform. So the home services market is enormous. It's a $657 billion market growing 36% a year. By 2026, it's estimated to be over $1 trillion. And according to studies, 70% of the population want to be self-employed. Home services, it's a giant blue ocean and it's in complete chaos because there's no end-to-end solution for buying and hiring services. The last real innovation was Thumbtack in 2009. So our team, we've got a fantastic team. Me as the CEO, I've got 25 years experience in this industry. My dad owned a construction company. My stepdad owned a construction company. So that's really all I've ever done. Fateh Yenner, he's our CTO, and he has developed this marketplace from scratch over the past 5 years. This is all he's ever done is computer science and technology. Deshaun Jackson, our chief marketing officer, and he has created this process that we can get a business up and running at full capacity. And when I say that, I'm saying at least 70% of their schedule is full within 2 weeks. So he's great for that. And we've just partnered with the Mississippi Coding Academy. They are the premier AI experts in the state of Mississippi. And we've signed a contract for them to finish developing our AI. And I'm actually there on the phone right now meeting with our development team. So thank you. Our mission is big. We want to democratize the American dream by using AI to hire service providers.
Jason, thank you very much for this exciting presentation. Let's see what questions our judges have. Maxim, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jason. How do you different from TaskRabbit?
So TaskRabbit, they're really a lead generation website, just like Andy's List and Thumbtack and Home Advisor. Contractors pay to be connected with consumers, but they don't have any software designed to schedule the service, to manage payment, to make sure the contractors do what they want to. As a matter of fact, in their terms and service, they make it very clear that they don't want to deal with anything that happens off their platform. So after that initial contact is made, it's up to you to get the contractor to show up, to schedule the service, to negotiate payment prices. We take care of all of that end to end. That's a good question. A lot of people ask.
And also, there is an issue with churn rate because when they got contact directly, they would not use your platform anymore. Did you meet this issue?
As far as consumer churn or contractor churn?
Yeah, consumers.
Now, if we can get a consumer to use it, we pretty much got them hooked. The problem we have is getting them to use it the first time because this is such a different approach to the traditional of calling and communicating with somebody over the phone. That's the way consumers want to do business. So if we can get them to go through this, it seems like a complicated process initially because you have to enter your credit card information and deposit the 1% down, pick the service and the start time. That's why we created the AI to sort of automate. That's the main point of friction. But if we can get a consumer to do it once and they realize that once they do this, the software does an incredibly good job of making sure the contractor shows up and does a good job. And that's really what this is all about, getting contractors to do what they're supposed to. So, yeah.
Thank you, Maxim. Thank you, Jason. Mariette, please ask a question.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Jason. I like the mission. It's really great. I have a question about how you vet service providers. what's that process like? What's the cost of
So-
doing that? And how do you factor that into your business model?
So that is probably the most important part. We require a business license, insurance, and we do a background check. So those three things are mandatory. Once we complete that process, we sort of have a trial period for the first 2 weeks. We make sure that they show up to do the work. And if they don't, we've got so many people that have applied to this. It's easy to replace. It's not super easy to find people that can do all the stuff, but that's the beauty of this. People just create listings for the services they know they can do. So we're not asking people to be able to do everything.
And what about the cost? How what percentage of the cost is that for you to do that?
As far as, so each background check cost about $15. But right now we've only got 8 businesses going. So that price would of course increase exponentially as we add new cities and new contractors. But yeah, I would say it's about $20 worth of our time and the cost of doing the background check. So it's but that's an important part of it, and you know we're willing to pay that. Absolutely, it's worth it.
Thank you, Mariette. John, now it's your turn.
Hi, great idea. Excellent market. I think it's something like 25% of the GDP. What is do you have a plan where consumers can give feedback about the contractors in terms of, like rating their quality?
Absolutely. So after every job is completed, the consumer can go in and they accept or decline the work. And after they accept it or decline it, it sends a message to us based on that feedback. Then they leave a review, and there's 5 categories. So timeliness, expertise, cleanup, manners, and then to make sure that they, the overall performance. So that's a very important piece. And if you go to our website, you can see reviews on our on the current contractors we have.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. We have 20 seconds. If anyone wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand or use our chat. Okay, then let's move forward and let me introduce Dima, the founder of Pandetron. Dima, your 5 minutes are starting right now. Please share your screen.
Hello. Awesome. So yeah, my name is Dima Sirotkin. I'm the CEO of a company called Pandetron. Effectively, we are helping Fortune 500s with what's called corporate change management. For those of you who are not aware, when you're the CEO, even if you're the CEO of a really large company, let's say Siemens, and you have 100,000 employees, changing anything is really hard, whether it is implementing new software like an ERP, moving to clouds, changing the structure of the company like in agile transformations, these days, implementing AI. And typically it comes down to what they call behavior and culture problem. They do a lot of training, they do a lot of communication, yet the statistic is that 70 to 80% of this change management programs fail, and it's very costly. So, the Siemens SAP HANA S4 implementation was supposed to be 8 years. It's already going on for more than 10. And as you can imagine, it's costing them quite a few billion. And that's not just, a lone example. What we do is what we call AI coaching. So you might have heard of business coaching, executive coaching. We have a chatbot that does the same thing, but suddenly it can do it at scale. So the price drops, and instead of only executives getting access to it, suddenly every employee in the organization can have access to an AI coach that helps them with understanding the company strategy and really the whole spectrum of soft skills, anything from leadership, communication, time management. We integrate into Teams and Slack, also have a web app. The other side of the product, besides just the coaching itself, is that coaching is a lot about inquiring into your problems. And so at some point we realized that if we collect all these coaching conversations, we effectively have all the dirt from the whole company. We can anonymize it and look at the systemic issues of the company. With one client, we ended up helping them to change their 5-year corporate strategy because of the insights that we delivered. My journey started in 2014 when I was at a personal development conference that in many ways changed my life. I feel like before that I was really swimming was the current. And I was like, wow, this stuff around coaching and self-awareness is really powerful. I went into the corporate world, worked a little bit in consulting, started a couple of startups in the space of education and coaching, had one tiny exit, been working on a PhD in organization and management. And then around 2021, we started experimenting with making coaching more scalable. Initially with another co-founder who's a coach, doing it via chat, and then using machine learning, and then finally GPT-3, but really started working only with GPT-4 release. And in the past 11 months, we ended up signing 20 enterprise clients. We got like $500,000 per year from those pilots. And then we got another 3 currently who actually expanded the contracts into like ARR stable contracts, the biggest of which is Panasonic. And then some other big names among the pilots would be like Merck, Konecranes, McKinsey, Mitsubishi, Abu Dhabi Pension Fund. We also got exclusive content partnerships now with a few thought leaders in the space. You might have heard of some of them in like management, leadership, happiness, and we believe that's one of the differentiations. To give an example of what we do, we worked with one Japanese company around AI transformation. We helped them to help their employees to brainstorm where AI could be used in their products and in their workflow. They then ended up launching 3 AI products in the span of 6 months. The stock price went up 24% on the announcement, and they said that it wouldn't have happened without us, and we're generally very happy. In terms of the strategy, so we sell directly, but we also sell through consultants, and that's been a big unlock. So for example, currently out of like 20 enterprise clients, I think 60 were brought to us through partnerships, like McKinsey, Mercer, and similar consulting firms. In terms of competition, we see that a lot of companies are focused on HR. We see that consulting partnerships are going to be a differentiator, and then of course data. In many ways, it comes down to like whoever is really first in this market. But like so far, we're not really seeing a lot of companies trying to target C-level like we do. In terms of the team, I already mentioned briefly myself. Lauri, he has 3 coaching certifications, 1 change management certification. He was a sales director leading a team of 25. Tiago, our CTO, he was doing like AI drug discovery when he was a teenager. His professor stole his work. He ended up quitting bitter the academia, founded a couple of companies. They failed, went to work for Amazon, and then joined us. And then we also had a couple of angels actually joining our executive team, now full-time as CRO and COO, because of believing in what we're doing. And lastly, we're raising currently 1 million, 300K still left unallocated. Thank you.
Sharing your innovative ideas with us. I already see the raised hands from judges. Kelly, the floor is yours. Please ask your questions.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Dima. That's an interesting presentation. So my question is, to what extent can your solution help employees navigate complex emotional challenges, and how do you measure its effectiveness?
I think fundamentally it's measured by organizational performance. So, with an example that I mentioned in Japan, right? Like they launched a number of products that they said they wouldn't have launched without us. With digital transformation, there's adoption, right? How many people are using the product? There are some projects where it's more difficult, like leadership development, and then you're like, well, like what does that mean? Where's the counterfactual? And there we usually invite researchers to kind of measure the effectiveness. I think so far it's just like results speak for themselves. We see clients converting to bigger clients. So I do think that it's solving problems. Yeah.
Great, Dima. All the best.
Thank you, Kelly. Chandan, the floor is yours.
You're taking on this niche use case. What are your thoughts on adjacent use cases like, let's say, employee mental health counseling or grievances or HR service tickets?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is that once the buyers start using us, they then switch to using it as like generally leadership as a service, just like use this to like manage the company better. Of course, it's like so far been more on the like smaller scales, like department scales. I do think that like well-being and things like that are part of it. The problem with well-being is that it's more of a nice to have to many employers. Like it's still like, like in theory, everyone knows that it's important, but it's like, it's the first thing that gets cut. So I'm not like in a rush there, but yes, it definitely could be used there too.
Thank you. Jim, now it's your turn.
Appreciate it. Yeah, interesting product offering. Could you talk a little bit about the, I guess, the customer stickiness and the life cycle of the customer, and how do you keep them after, if they do have those positive changes early on with the product, how do you maintain that customer relationship?
Yeah, I think like fundamentally the vision is to automate management consulting. And there's a lot of like challenges that they're dealing with. You know, I think if we can like get close to what consulting firms provide, like I do think that not all of it is, you know, smoke and mirrors. I do think that they provide a lot of value. And I think a lot of it for the buyer also often comes into the visibility of what's actually going on the shop floor. Like we provide them a possibility to like talk to all of their employees almost, and like get an insight into like where the problems are, what are the kind of burning issues right now. I think that really keeps the buyers engaged. And then on the user side, that's really like, do they get value from that coaching? And most people say, well, like it helps me to sit down and reflect on what's actually important.
Jim, thank you. Mariette, now it's your turn. Please ask a question.
Thanks. Hi, Dima. Nice to see you again.
Likewise.
Yes. So it's very interesting. And I'm wondering, you know, if it seems like such a gold mine of information that you're sitting on, and this also could be used with customers as well. And then my second question is, what is the biggest challenge that you face right now?
Used with customers. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. The gold mine information.
You're using this to, you're using the tool to understand the systemic issues that are happening from an employee perspective, but I think it could also be useful to understand what the customers are facing, because often big companies have no idea what problems their customers are facing. The bigger the company, the less in touch they are with their customers. I mean, I used to be a management consultant, and I worked with Fortune 50 companies, like the largest companies, and they have totally out of touch with their customers.
Yeah, we're doing that to some extent, but we kind of have to like prompt for it. So like if the client, so the one example is like where the client came to us and they said, hey, you know, we're thinking that like we want to be more innovative, but we don't know in which direction. Like, can you prompt our people to like brainstorm and then like, let's see what emerges. So that's not customer related, but it's also this like outside, right? So it's not so much about like the employees, but it's more about like what they're seeing. So yeah, for sure. It's like using kind of the employees as your like eyes and ears. So yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think I forgot the second part of the question. Sorry.
No worries. I was just asking you what you think your biggest challenge is at this
Oh
point.
yeah, the biggest challenge. I think really like currently it's like I think we've proven that there's definitely demand. Like, you know, we are like most of the sales came in the past like few months. And it's now really about converting. And like I think a lot about the fact that like how to build the whole experience around the product as well. Like we can't just dump the software on them. Like we need to think like how do we ask them about like the real goals? How do we do the whole account management? Like that's what I lose my sleep on right now.
Thank you, Mariette. And the rest of the judges, you can ask questions in our chat. I'd like to introduce our wonderful lady, Yulia, the founder of Corner. The floor is yours. Now we will start the timer. Please show us your presentation.
Hi, everyone. Each year, the US home renovation market loses $2 trillion as homeowners either postpone or cancel their renovation projects. Let's meet David. David just bought a new apartment in Chicago, and this is his kitchen. He calls contractors for renovation help and schedules 3 visits, but in the end, no one shows up. David gets price estimates and they differ by 3 times. David is now thinking about doing the renovation himself, but this will be his full-time job for the next 6 months. More than 80% of US homeowners are just like David. They're abandoning their renovation projects due to unreliable contractors and unclear pricing. This is why we founded Corner. an AI home-driven renovation platform. And I'm excited to share that we are making the US home renovation market 5 times larger. Imagine David managing design, procurement, contractors, and all in one simple product. That's Corner. Now you want to meet Molly, our AI-driven designer in Corner. She's an incredible designer. With Molly, users create their designs on the fly. They enter their design preferences into the simple interface, and Molly brings their vision to life in seconds. We provide our customers with an online dashboard where they can upload plans, communicate with designers, and pay for materials. Apart from that, we've developed a contractor matching tool that evaluates contractors and matches them with our customer projects. This means homeowners don't have to source contractors themselves. And our product works. More than 50 US homeowners have chosen our platform for their renovation projects. And they leave us positive reviews online. And now every second customer brings us a new referral. But that's not all. We offer premium renovation at a fraction of the typical US cost, sourcing materials directly from manufacturers. We make renovation affordable for US homeowners and unlock the potential of a $3 trillion market. We're a Chicago-based PropTech startup with a strong team in Ukraine and the US. It's not the first company we're building together, and my co-founder already have one successful exit. We are backed by the most active angels from the US and from Europe. Our advisors are founders of unicorns in consumer and construction tech. We are in 4 US cities right now, and by next year, we will be in 20. At Corner, we are making renovation sexy. And we have everything to build a massive player in the US. We have huge untapped market, healthy unit economics, and an experienced team. And we are excited to partner with the investors who are ready to fall in love with Corner as much as we are. Thank you.
Yulia, thank you for your pitch. And let's move to our final Q&A session. I see the raised hands. Mariette, please ask your question.
Hi, Julia. Nice to meet you. What an
Hi,
interesting
nice to meet
idea.
you. Sorry?
Oh, hi, Julia. Nice to meet you. Are there any other companies that are competing with you to do this service?
Mm-hmm. So our competitors, it's mostly like out process that people use when they're doing their renovation. So it's either contractors who recommend some materials and just big box stores like, for example, Home Depot, where you come and or IKEA, you come and you want to buy something, but it's like low quality and usually high price.
Thank you, Mariette. Sarah, now it's your turn.
Hi, Yulia. First of all, I would like to say that you are the only girl over here who presented us any FinTech, so congrats and good luck to you and good luck to you. The second thing is this, that I wanted to know your marketing strategy or model. Is there anything which you are already following or you have any plan in the coming future related to marketing?
Mm-hmm. So the first question, am I understand correctly? It's about like our marketing strategy. So our like main marketing right now, it's organic and it's from Pinterest. We have on our platform, we have a unique design collections that created by different designers, and people just can go on our platform, check the collection, love it, and get the pricing. We also have like paid marketing through Facebook and Instagram, because like our product is mostly visual. So you buying the like final image of your future kitchen or home. Yeah, our main marketing, it's Pinterest as organic, and it's paid marketing. And also, like as more customers we have more referrals.
Thank you, Sarah.
And it was a second part of the question, but I maybe forgot it.
No, I think you concluded. I just wanted to ask you that what is the return on investment normally when you are spending on ad budget or Instagram, as you mentioned? Like, are you guys getting some clients or not? Just a simple one. Are you guys getting some clients from there or not?
We're getting clients all the time. So from Instagram, we are getting organically, but less than, for example, from Pinterest. And like about our budgets, we usually like launch campaign like to get the amount of clients that we need, and the CAC of our client from Facebook campaign, it's around $500.
Thank you,
Awesome, thank
Yulia. Thank you, Sarah. Kelly, please ask a question.
Anna, thank you, Yulia. So what happens if users purchase materials elsewhere after reviewing your designs or contact a designer offline? And how do you ensure your platform secure profit from the transaction? Thank you.
So the thing is that the collections and usually designs that were created. So we have this idea that you can, with us, you can afford a beautiful European, Scandinavian kitchens that usually you can either buy from really, really expensive Italian or German brands, or you can buy from us. Some kitchens that we created that like nobody, even carpenters, very custom carpenters, they can't do. So clients decided to stay with us. And like the final designs we usually do after the first deposit. So it's our secure for the customer. So the customer already started to work with us.
Thank you, Kelly. John, please ask a question.
So the materials is where you're giving the consumer savings, is that correct? You're selling them your countertops and cabinets and things of that nature, that they're sourcing them directly from you, is that correct?
Yeah, we're sourcing directly from manufacturer. We have a partnership with manufacturer. Now we're sourcing mostly like only kitchen cabinets, and for like countertops, we have partnership with local manufacturers in the US. Yeah.
Okay, and there is an online design tool, to be clear, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Olga, the floor is yours. Please ask a question.
Yeah, hi. Can you explain in more details about your growth strategy apart from getting more clients? And also, can you give the feeling like, okay, you need to do one design, for example, one collection, something like how many people do you need for it to have in the team and how much time it takes? What's the cost of it?
I think it could be relevant if I show like our big strategy. So we are building like an Amazon for home renovation. So we provide the designers the possibility to post their collections. Okay, I'll answer it in the text. Sorry.
Thank you. Please use our chat. Anna?
Yeah.
I would like to give you the floor.
Thank you, Yulia. Yes, thank you for stop sharing. It was all, dear judges. Please look at our event page. Make sure you voted for all the startups. In less than a minute, we'll be closing the votes. And then we'll chit-chat a little bit. You'll give feedbacks regarding the startups to help them grow, to help them become big, big, big and wonderful unicorns. And then we will reveal your scores and see who the winner is, who will go to our in-person event in Palo Alto. So, dear judges, I see you're finishing voting. Please do so. in 20 minutes, 20 seconds, we will be closing the votes. So please take a quick look at the event page. Make sure you put this little scroll bar beneath each startup where you think it's worth it, that it's fair. And in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dear team, please close the votes. And we will talk about our startups. So the first one to pitch was our Gage. And please give feedback regarding the startup, what you think should be improved or what you loved about this startup. Nothing can be changed. The votes are already closed. So, dear judges, I really encourage you to be active because startups rely on that. If everything is fine, you're absolutely happy with the startup. Yes, Kesha, thank you.
Hey, Justin, your pitch was really great. As an investor, it's interesting. I think you've shown some clear, traction. You're talking about the POCs that you're doing. I think one of the things, though, just as a person, as someone actually who, throughout school worked in some of these shift type of roles, I would have loved in your pitch for you to talk a little bit about, kind of preempt my question of, is this net positive for people?
Right.
Because I'm not convinced it is, right? And we see credit scores overall tend to hurt people. So I think that's something that could have been addressed and probably would have, if you had touched on that a little bit, would have made me overall go, okay, I'll look at the business now.
Yeah, our feedback is 97% positive. People love metrics, whether it be education, sports, fitness. We'll put $300 devices on a wrist just to track how many steps we've taken. The principal element to this is that it's private, it's personal. It's up to the employee whether they use it, whether they share it, whether they keep it. Even they can delete it at any time, and that is a messaging challenge that'll always be with something unique like this. But thank you for that feedback.
Thank you, Keisha. And Jonathan?
Sure. I would have liked to, I mean, I think this is a really cool product. I've started a health services company where there's a real demand for the, and to retain and reward the frontline workers. I would have loved to see a little bit of discussion from the actual users of a use case of the user to see, because you talk about how sticky it is and all that other stuff, but maybe a single use case identified or the primary user type. But other than that, I thought it was a really good presentation, and I think it's a needed business idea. I think it's going to be it's a challenging market.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was short pitch, so we have all that, but I just tried to, get it down. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, come on, it's 5 minutes. It used to be 3. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mariette?
Yeah, that was good that you made it 5 instead of 3. 3 is really tight. Justin, your presentation was really beautiful. Your designer did a great job. I can tell you have a real pro behind your team for that. You said that I know you have a lot of experience, but you said that you're the one coming up with the metrics. I think I would like to see somebody who's got, a lot of expertise in terms of with their background, professional background in terms of managing employees, just to make, not managing employees, but maybe organizational behavior to make sure that the metrics are fair and they're the right ones. And then the previous comment, I think, was a very good one from Keshia about the employees and how they feel about it. So you said that an employee could delete the app. So if an employer is paying per month per employee and that worker decides to delete their profile, what happens there? They're allowed to do that. And then if that's the case, I would think that it would then mean that the people on the platform would skew to the ones with the high scores. And so it may not be a real accurate depiction of the workforce.
Right. So what I mean is that whenever an employee leaves that place of business that uses Gage, they don't have to keep it if they don't want to. They can delete it. And the idea is that Gage was never meant to punish anybody. It's about rewarding and lifting those up. And it's actually one of our taglines in our company register or inner circle is that if you reward, you don't have to punish. That you give somebody a platform to be better, to grow. The rest of it takes care of itself. But we find out that our employees are not deleting it. Nobody's deleting it. They love it and they're sharing it because it's their product of their work. They're proud of it.
I mean, it probably makes them better too, I would imagine too, because people perform better when they're being tracked.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Mariette. And we're moving to Everkey and Chris. Please give your feedback on that. Yes, Kelly?
Thank you, Anna. Chris, I admire your passion and recognize the rapid growth of your business. However, how do you ensure that your customer support keeps up with the pace of growth? Because if people search your company online, they can see some of your customers have mentioned it's difficult to reach you when they encounter product issues.
Yeah, great feedback, Kelly. Should I answer these or are we just
Yes,
giving
please.
feedback? Okay, sure, absolutely. Yeah, so we are scaling up customer service right now, and since we are kind of doing more of a B2B approach at this point, we have kind of like direct like client success type of arrangements rather than back when we started the company as a consumer company, right? We started by shipping to everyday consumers, and the customer service was a little bit overwhelming, you're right. Now that we're selling directly to businesses and we have one point of contact within those businesses, it's more manageable at this point, but it's definitely something that we could certainly continue to improve upon. And I appreciate that feedback, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Boy, Chris, you talk fast. You should
Do I? Okay. Sorry, I'll try to slow it down a little bit. I want to get stuff done. I want to be productive.
Oh, Chris, we have to do the same 3 minutes as we used to have before. And
yeah, it's like he sounds like he's on twice the speed of a normal person. Yeah, cool, really wonderful. Okay, if no feedbacks on Chris anymore, yes, Mariette, yes, please.
Sure, I'll say something. I loved your energy. It was fun listening to you, and I think you also covered a lot of territory. I guess the question I have is because I use 1Password, and it's definitely been a heavy lift. I find it a little bit annoying just to get it going. Once it's in place, I really like it because I don't have to remember 1Password. So what would be your argument about getting somebody to move off that? Like, what's the switching cost for somebody to get onto a different platform?
Yeah, so a lot of those other password managers, like 1Password that you mentioned, they've been built from the ground up with security as kind of the number one and only priority, right? We value user experience like above everything except security. Security and user experience are both incredibly important to us. And I'm a biased person here, obviously, so I'm going to tell you that Everkey is easier to use than 1Password, but give it a try, right? Give Everkey a try versus 1Password. It's easier to onboard your passwords. You can import them from wherever they're stored right now. As you're logging into websites, we'll suggest for you to save passwords at Everkey. You can mass change your passwords within our system. So with one click, you can change all your passwords at a time. There's all these kind of like features and simplicities, and we spend hours trying to save our users seconds, and that really comes through in just what our users say about the user experience. We see people switch from 1Password to Everkey all the time for all of these different reasons. So I'd be happy to get you set up on Everkey, and we could try it out.
What does it cost?
What does it cost? It's $2 per user per month for the multi-factor product, $5 per user per month for the full ecosystem.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Mariette. And we're moving to memorial call. Hamayun. Any feedbacks on Hamayun's pitch and presentation of the product? Yes, Mariette?
Hi, yes. I think there's a huge opportunity for this with all of the data that is happening in a video call and being able to capture people's emotional reactions to things. I didn't find that your value proposition was super clear. So I think if you're doing this again, I mean, I'm happy to help you actually, because I'm pretty familiar.
I love to connect offline. again, this is the first time I stand in front of the crowd in a Zoom call, but usually it's one-on-one with investors. So
It's tough.
use a lot of help. The opportunity is the whale hunting, so it's a huge opportunity. I understand.
Thank you, Kamayun. And now we are moving to BoxTech and Lamar, who is against selling alcohol to people under 21, I guess. And who has feedback on that? On Lamar's speech? Yes, Jonathan?
I really liked your pitch and I really like the idea. A couple of things I think might be helpful, because it seems like it's relatively regulated industry selling alcohol. If there's some kind of, maybe this is just the lawyer in me, if there was some discussion about, the regulations around it and if there's a regulatory pathway or there's any costs, or just that you've got it covered and that there's nothing to worry there. Also, I would have liked to see a little more maybe detailed traction rather than the names, because you seem to, of the companies presenting today, you seem to be one of them that has made getting the most traction. And so I think it would be kind of interesting, and some interesting insights could be garnered from looking at a little more specific market segmentation and revenue based on that. You're on mute.
You're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, yes, we just redid our pitch deck, and Mike had taken out the traction slide, so I kind of like give it in verbiage. But that was one thing I was like, man, maybe we should have had our traction slide on there. That might have helped a little more, and also our market size. But as far as regulation goes, there's been a lot of places where this has actually been written into the law. Colorado's one of them. Here in Texas, it's seen as a self-serve option, which self-serve wine has been here for years. Regulatory things are turning over because now automation is actually entering into the alcohol space. There's a lot of companies doing more like cocktails and pouring beer through robots and things like that. So the regulations are starting to change as far as what you can buy alcohol through and what avenue you can use, because now they're having, the walk-in stores with the mass gyms and all those different things. So it's definitely legal, and there's a lot of market room for you to operate.
Thank you, Lamar. And Mariette, yes?
Yes, I thought it was very creative, and I really liked the solution in your pitch. It was super interesting. And I think I think there was more there that we didn't get a chance to see. So I think when you're doing a pitch, just make sure that you pace yourself. Like Dima actually ended exactly on the nose of 5 minutes. Is really impressive. So I'm assuming you must have practiced that, but maybe just there were some things in there that that I wanted to see that you didn't have time for.
Yeah, sorry, I just trying to stay inside that 5 minutes. I know I can get
that was really good.
I explain stuff, but I
was
just
a
try
great
to
pitch.
everything. So thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Lamar. Thank you, Mariette. And hometown workforce. And Jason, who has feedback on that? Building a marketplace for the yes, Maxi?
For me, maybe to add some page with competitors analysis and something. Like for me, it sounds like really task rabbit, but yeah, some differentiators, of course, but some differentiators on it. It will be great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually had that page in my slide and I took it out.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. And Mariette?
Yes, I loved it. I love your enthusiasm and your mission to democratize things for people. That was great. I think it would be interesting if you could also talk about what your potential exit might look like. Maybe you could be bought by TaskRabbit or Thumbtack, because I think, or even Yelp, because I think you certainly solve a problem that's not being addressed right now.
Yes, thank you. Of course, my goal is to IPO, but I think that Google would probably be the most likely person to buy it, because that's where we get all our leads from now. So if they could integrate our software into their stack, it would solve, this multi-billion-dollar problem.
Yeah, good idea. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And Pendatron and Dima, who would like to comment on Dima's speech? Anyone, please? Yes, Mariette. Love you being so active. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I enjoy doing this a lot, in case you can't tell. So I actually know Dima. So hi, Dima. I think you did a great job. It was like I said, it was on time, and you had a good pace, and it was energetic. And I think it's a really intriguing idea that you're doing and a problem you're solving. So I liked it. I think you're sitting on an absolute gold mine of information there, and I'd love to talk to you more about it later. But you did a great job.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful comment. Anyone else? Everybody wants to see the results. I do too. And the last but not least, Yulia from Kona. Who can comment on Yulia's pitch? And problem and solution, yes, Mariette.
Great job, Yulia. Wonderful to see somebody from Ukraine also, and love to talk to you about that later, because I'm doing a program with the U.S. Embassy to help Ukrainian creatives. But I think that it's a great idea. I wanted to understand a little bit more how it works. Is it just a UI designer? What about, there's a lot of other factors in home renovation, such as dealing with the government and getting permits. And I wanted to understand like the whole picture of how that thing worked. So I think a little more detail on that would have been great, but you did a great job.
Thank you, Mariette. And Keisha?
Agreed. Great pitch. I would have loved to have seen more on kind of what is the overall product offering. Is it really a kind of turnkey solution? And I think the other thing I would have loved for you to address was more around the competition and how you're differentiated, how your customers see you as differentiated. Forgive me for saying this, but IKEA also offers a very similar service, right? As far as kind of the planning and some of those things. And I know that you can upgrade to some of their higher end items. And I'm sure that yours is obviously very different, but I would have loved for you to address that a little more.
Yes, that's really good point. And dear judges, dear contestants, I'm really glad to announce that we are heading towards getting to know who is the winner. And it's happening right now at the event page. And I am saying, my team, please publish the results. We are ready to see who the winner is. And da-da-da-da. And I'm refreshing the page. And Pantatron, Dima, congratulations. Every key was so close, and BoxTech also. Congratulations. It's your moment of glory. Please tell something, what you think about your fellow contestants, about our judges, and how happy you are. Okay, you know the rules.
Thank you. It was fun. I just had a research idea. We should track the correlation between the closing of funds and the winners. You know how they say that like the winning company is usually the worst one, and like the other ones become the most successful. So let's. I hope this is not the case.
Our winners have more than $1 billion raised. So our
Sounds good. Okay, you already done it. Damn it. Okay, great, amazing. Okay, then I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Then I hope that the round close, the happy round close follows. But yeah, thanks everyone. It was fun, and appreciate your time. Any critical feedback would be welcome too.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. You have all contact details in chat. Please get engaged. We don't send in the middle. We just ask you to remember about us, help our tech community to grow. We give the floor for all startups to pitch for free. So your donations is welcome every time. And I was so glad to see everyone. And I will see you all on the 8th of October. Also online, we will be upgrading to Unicorn battles. That means different levels of judging and more interesting online space. And I will see you all there. So see you all. Thank you very much. See you, friends.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. And
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.